So what we're going to look at is a server that you would pay $1,000 for a month in the cloud, more or less. I'm going to unpack the things in those boxes there, or more specific, that box. So this is a HP DL380 generation 7, and they're up to generation 10 or 11 or something like that. And all servers more or less has a latch on it, and you can open up the hood on it. And for those that don't know, I worked with this kind of stuff for a while before I just went into only coding. We got places for hard drives in the front. There are no hard drives installed. Yeah. And then you have fans. Everything is detachable, and then so you can hot swap some parts, other parts you cannot hot swap. And this is the main difference of a server and non-server. It's not that this one is any faster than your laptop really, but it got duplicated things like 2 power supplies, but none so power supply is in there currently. It's to reduce weight right now. So got the memory slots, 2 CPUs with 12 core each. Let's see if we can get to the memory banks. Let's find some disks and power supply and things like that. I hope that this one contains hard drives and things, and the power supplies. Got 2 power supplies, got a few hard drives. I say I got used once, so I don't know when this is going to fail, but it's probably fine for me. This is just for coding and not deployment. Really, I could deploy on this one, and I probably will, but it's more for me to code on, test on more correctly. So why would I test on this instead on the cloud? Yeah, because of the cost. That's the only reason. Got more drives. And something maybe for later with you. So let's load up this server with its parts. Very easy to install. Everything in servers are super easy to use. They've been designed like that. It has small drawings on what different stuff are. And since no one wants to read the manual, everything, oops, upside down. Or everything, but the most important things are on the back cover on all the servers. So now we installed a double power supply, and this one runs on only one. So if that one fails, it automatically switches over. It has, let's see, 4 network connections out. This is just gigabit, but hey, do you have more than a gigabit at home? And that's lights out interface, which means that you can connect to it, connect to the BIOS and turn this machine on and off. There we go. but this model uses the old style keyboards. Could be good to know if you're buying this old machine. Needs that kind of connector. The new one uses USB, of course. Something else that some of these older servers use should be VGA output here, no HDMI. They used that for a long time. Even got USB, by the way, so most likely it works with a USB keyboard. Now let's turn it around again, or yeah, a lot turning around the server, that's what you're going to see. There we go. Should be handled with care. These are just to block some of the airflow if the disk is not installed. Why would you want to block the airflow? It's because you want to spread out the airflow even over the machine. And if you have two big holes there and you want to spread out so good. I have no idea what's on these drives anymore since I packed it down, so I need to reinstall this machine totally. I know it was my lab machine, so probably has Kubernetes on it, which I do not want. There we go. It's a small handle on it. What will break first on my server here is the disks, because they're probably quite heavily used. That's why I got some spares. So I need to set up some RAID setup, which means that the data is duplicated on multiple disks. Okay, I'm missing a few disks, so either I could put in 2 spacers or I could put in 2 other disks. Now, since I got more disks, I'm putting more disks. This says data sanitized, so it's cleared out. This does not, so this is a big question mark on this one. I hope it contains a lot of viruses, because I'm going to nuke the thing that's on it anyhow, so it doesn't matter for me. There we go. Now we just need to take this one and install it somewhere. And now something has happened to this server. It's a lot heavier now. So I actually will take out all that things and go and put the server where it should be. Okay, so now I have everything here that I need for this setup. So I got my server, I got my keyboard, I got my disks and more disks, power supplies, server of course, and you need a monitor that works with your server. And a lot of them older has VGA, the new one probably has HDMI, but just think about that when you're buying your server. This one didn't fit like it should. As you see, this is not complicated stuff. It's a lot of technical things to know, but the actual putting things together is simple. know where to not to poke and where you can poke stuff. And I'm going to use a high-tech internet solution, wall adapter that converts to TP. So I have one of these in the home and one out here in the garage, and they should connect together, and that's what I'm going to use. Let's put this one here. It's missing the, I don't know what it's called, that thing. So it probably will pop out extremely easy. I need to replace this cable. Here we go. And it says do not connect these adapters over an extension cable. So that's why we're going to connect it over an extension cable. One thing to think about when you're buying a server is the power consumption. Make sure that you have enough power for a server, because they are quite power hungry. But do your due diligence, and you see that mine here is only 460 watts times 2 if you want to run both, but they can run on one of them, so it has a 460 watt power requirement, which is less than my PC at home, but has a 750. I would say if you buy a small to mid-size server, it's not a bigger issue, but if you buy a big one, it might be an issue. And I found a little thing that from the cable, it just broke off, so I had it apparently. Now it's gone. Let's power out up this sucker, because that's what it is. This is a sucker. Oh yeah, works better if I actually turn on the power. There we go, takes a while. Now we listen to this beauty. Also has a feature here, UID, that's for when you stack this in racks. It can be hard to, on the back side, see which server you should be working on, so you press that button and you go on the back. And I have a light at the back, blue one there. Tells you that this is the server you're working on. Can actually take a few minutes for it to boot up. It goes through internal checks and check the memory and everything else. And these servers are notorious for being extremely slow to boot. You can see it's working. I think it took 3 minutes from I pressed the power on until something appeared on the screen. And right now I won't get any further than this, because I need to set up the disks and I need to install an operating system, because yeah, it's not there. Scanning for hard drives. Boot logical drive is configured but is missing or offline. Yeah, no kidding, with all these disks replaced. Probably just reboot now. There we go. One server up and running. Well, no operating system, but the server is up and running. So let's go back to cloud. This spec of a server, 24 cores with around 100 gigabyte of RAM. Let's see if you can actually see how much RAM I got here. Oh, I got 73. So I got 73 gigabytes of memory, which isn't much today. I think it can level it up to 192 or something like this machine. But the one I was looking at online for cloud with the same specs had 88, I got 72 then. But that one on the cloud costed 1,000 a month. This full machine, as I looked it up on eBay today, cost $300. So that's a one-time payment. Of course I need to pay for electricity when it gets up running, but then I have my own server. So I now gotten into the menu for creating a logical drive. With a logical drive means it will stripe together all 8 of those hard drives, or as many as I want, of course. So let's select create a logical drive. So I got 146 gigabyte each. Yeah, they are small drives, they're used and they're quite old. That's about a terabyte, and a terabyte, since I'm not going to store any image videos on this machine, that is probably good enough for me. Then we have RAID configurations, and we have the option of 55, 1+0 and 0. RAID 0 is no security. RAID 1, if I remember correctly, is totally mirroring, so you reduce the numbers of drives basically by half. RAID 5 is that you lose, if I remember correctly here, every 5th drive. I'm not totally sure actually. You have one parity drive, but the question is, do I have 7 drive for data and 1 parity, or... So I had the camera shut down on me because of battery, so I replaced the battery. So RAID 5, I've got 1 parity drive. I lose 1 drive in the array. My question is, should I use all of these 8, or should I use... Yes, you could have one of so as a spare. So just disable one of them, and if you've got a drive failure later, you can just go in and enable it, and then automatically it rebuilds, right? So, but I think I got spare drives inside, so I think I will just use all. Then I got 50, which is the RAID 5, but it's mirrored also. So in this case it would have a parity on this one, and only use 3 drives, but then I have a duplicate of it. I don't need that. I will have RAID 5. You have selected logical drive with a total data size of 1 terabyte, exactly what I wanted, and the RAID 5 fault tolerance. F8 to save, saving configuration. In the newer ones, and I think in this one also, there's a USB slot. Let's see if we can see that. I think the server will be be upset if I remove the cover while it's running, but let's try it. Let's put down the camera. I can open this up. Now let's remember that we actually have power on this machine, so we should be a little bit careful where we are poking. But see, it's possible to see in there, there's a USB, and I think there's another one hiding some other place. In there, see if I can zoom in. Really slow to zoom in, huh? There's a TF card hiding in there, but I got neither installed, and I should probably boot from one of those. So I need to go and create the bootable USB drive and pop into this machine. Okay, so I got to download Ubuntu server edition, and wrote it to USB. And I don't think that USB will actually fit. Actually, maybe it would fit in the slot in there. Let's try it. It has this metal part on it, which isn't really great to put down on the server. Maybe I should just boot it from the disks. Let's put it in front here then. There we go, and now let's figure out how to boot this machine from USB. So it's booting up. I had various SCSI devices. I spent so many hours looking at screens like this at work. I used to be the sysadmin and coder for that matter at the place before. I've been a coder after that for many years, but I started out as a sysadmin installing servers like this. I've been standing waiting for them to boot many hours. And while that's timing out, we can create a connection over power line. I have these devices for that. I have 3 of them, so I just need to connect 2 of them. I got the 4th somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So let's connect that one and pair these 2 with each other. This one seems dead to me. Let's remove that. I have one that's acting up, so okay, that one blinks. Let's see if they are connected to each other. I don't think they are. Press that, and we just wait for them to connect up. So I said before that they were 100 megabit, but they are 600 megabit devices. So I have 1000 on the server, 600 on this, and then my internet is also 1000. Let's just replace this TP cable that got destroyed before with the working one. Cool. Then I have one I can put in my house, and that one is in the garage here. And there we go. It started the installation. So I just have to wait until this is done. And we got the server up running for 300 USD, 350, something like that. And if you would buy this server power in the cloud, it would be about 1000 a month. So 1200 USD. Wait. 12,000 USD per year. It's a little bit different. So someone will say, what about electricity? Well, that one going to produce heat, which means that that one going to reduce the heat output that one is producing, and that one doesn't do any processing. This also doesn't do any sound, so I get more sound from this and more processing in the same heat. So I don't think there's going to be that big of an issue for me, and I need to heat up this anyhow. And while it's installing, let's install this guy. So there we got my router, and down there we got power. So this one into power and that cable into the router. And I got the blue cable hanging down there, that's not used. It actually was used for something else, but now it's going to be used for this. That's fine. Empty spot. It says to not install these guys in power strips, but we're going to install it in the power strip. So now the server should be online after it got IP address and all of that. So where did we leave off last time? I don't know. Installation complete. Oh, look at that. Reboot now, and then we're going to remove our installation key here. Failed to unmounting USB, remove the installation medium, press enter. Okay. If you like tech, then installing servers is actually good work. It's not too stressful. You get to work a bit odd hours, which can be stressful. and you need to handle the stress when it comes to downtime, because it's a lot of, you have to do things and then just wait. And it becomes a bit stressful because it's your life wasting away while you are waiting. I don't know why they made these servers boot so slowly, but they did. It takes forever for them to reboot. And while we do that, maybe I can get something to use for a thumbnail. It timed out. I was going to say I'm going to get my phone and Google the error message. There we got Smeagol login. If it would zoom onto it. So let's try login. So here we got everything up and running. Let's see if I remember the keys here. I did not. Ha! Goes great. There we go. So here we got my 24 threads in the CPUs and my memory and all the processes running that I don't really care too much about right now. So now I just need to set up my SSH so I can reach this machine from indoors, and then I'll start coding. Anyhow, a machine for 300, that would be 1,000 on Google Cloud, which would be 12,000 a year. So up and running. If I would take 650 to install it, the full installation with the server would be 1,000, and then that's the first month's pay, and then we have 11 months free. So yeah, happy hacking.